Saudi's economy expanded 11.8% in Q2, and Masdar is reportedly seeking a stake in Iberdrola's German wind farm. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. Saudi Arabia's economy expanded 11.8% year-on-year in Q2. The kingdom's oil economy rose 23.1% during the period, preliminary estimates show. Non-oil economic activity also climbed 5.4%. The figure marks the fastest pace of growth since 2011. Meanwhile, government services activities increased by 2.2%, boosting Saudi economy's growth. The IMF has projected Saudi's economy to expand at 7.6% this year, the highest growth rate among world economies for 2022. Abu Dhabi's Masdar and Canada Pension Plan Investment Board are reportedly weighing binding offers for a 40% stake in Iberdrola's German offshore wind farm. The deal would value the project known as Wikinger at $1.43 billion. Infrastructure funds InfraRed and EIP are reportedly also close to making offers. Europe's largest utility is holding calls with the prospective buyers for their minority stake of the wind farm, and it will select a winner in the weeks ahead. Libya's oil production has returned to the volume recorded before a months-long blockade that paralyzed its economy. Libya's National Oil Corporation says its production rates have reached the pre-force majeure levels of 1.2 million barrels per day. On July 15th, Libya lifted force majeure on all the country's oil fields and export terminals as groups besieging several installations ended a blockade that began in April. HSBC saw a 15% drop in first-half profit as expected credit losses offset the impact from rising net interest income. Europe's biggest bank reported a pre-tax profit of $9.2 billion for the 6 months ending June 30th, down from $10.84 billion a year ago. China's factory activity expanded at a slower pace in July as growth momentum softened in output, new orders, and employment. The Caixin Market Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index eased to 50.4 in July from 51.7 in June. That's well below analyst expectations for a slight dip to 51.5. China's manufacturing hub saw a solid rebound in June from COVID lockdowns in spring, but the recovery is fading amid new virus flare-ups and weakening domestic and global demand. Alibaba says it will work to maintain its New York Stock Exchange listing alongside its Hong Kong listing. It comes after it was added on Friday to the SEC's list of Chinese companies that may be delisted for not meeting auditing requirements. Alibaba closed 2.15% lower in Hong Kong's morning session today after its 11.1% drop in New York on Friday. U.S. regulators want access to audit papers of New York-listed Chinese companies, which are stored in China. But Beijing bars for an inspection of working papers from local accounting firms. A unit of embattled Chinese developer Evergrande has failed to repay its loans and must pay a guarantor $1.1 billion. The announcement comes after the company failed to publish a preliminary restructuring proposal by the end of July. Despite assuring creditors it was on track to meet the deadline. Evergrande has been involved in restructuring negotiations after racking up $300 billion in liabilities in the wake of Beijing's crackdown on excessive debt and rampant speculation in the real estate sector. Animated superhero movie DC League of Super Pets pulled in an estimated $23 million this weekend in a moderate opening that still managed to top the North American box office. Characters in the Warner Bros. Film are voiced by Dwayne Johnson, John Krasinski, Kate McKinnon, and Keanu Reeves.
Fellow normal dog?
I bit the FedEx guy the other day.
I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.